So Platinum's making a Ninja Turtles game.
Platinum is making a Ninja Turtles game according to, this is not an officially announced thing, but the Australian Ratings Board listed this. And the ratings board things tend to always pan out.
Yeah.
So Destin, resident Ninja Turtle superfan, particularly in Mitch's absence, what do you think of this? This is, they just came off of Transformers, which turned out to be a very good, not great, but a very good game. What do you say?
I'm really
a Ninja
excited.
Turtles game by Platinum?
Yeah, Platinum's a great developer for some stuff like this. They've made a lot of great combat-focused games, and I love that they're taking on the Ninja Turtles finally. I would love a new, great Ninja Turtles game to come out a la like TMNT 2 at the arcade
game,
or even 3 on the Super Nintendo.
What do you think this game should be? If it's how you want to just a Platinum game like they've never done a 4-player game, have they?
Was Transformers multiplayer?
Nope.
I don't know.
I don't think so.
They don't do multiplayer. Wow. Yeah, they don't do multiplayer games.
I'm fine with it not being multiplayer.
They've hinted at that with Scalebound, right?
Yeah, with Scalebound. Yeah, but that's weird on I don't know, almost seems like Dark Souls-y multiplayer where it's not
and also not on the same console. You would hope that this would be same screen.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing.
Basically, I want a Batman Ninja Turtles game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, people
Batman
wanted a
Crazy.
Rocksteady Ninja Turtles game.
What if it were, so you just give me an idea, what if it were set in the era and also had the art style and the gritty tone of the original comics?
That'd be
cool.
great.
Where it's pretty
they're
violent
serious,
and they all wear red bandanas.
Yeah.
How do I know what character I am?
By the weapons.
What if they have unlockable skins like the Batman games, and you can look like Ninja Turtles from different eras and play through the game?
Or
that
different
way.
types of turtles, like tortoises and stuff. I'm just sure.
Different types
Or
of turtles.
sharks, because my name's Shark Finnegan.
There's one turtle who has this humongous shell, and he's really highly armored, but he can't move very quick.
They've actually drawn the Ninja Turtles in multiple ways in the Mirage line, where they actually had more realistic looking turtle
Michael Bay
looks. No, not the Michael Bay ones.
Those turtles had weird lips.
But
They look just weird in general.
Well, think about it. There's the cartoons from the 90s.
Yeah.
There's the Mirage Ninja Turtles that we were talking about before. There is
and there's the rubber suit of the original movies.
Yeah, the original movies. The new animated ones from Nick. That's fantastic.
Yeah. I mean, the one fear about this is I'd be willing to bet this is going to be a budget game. It's going to be like Transformers and like Korra. This is not going to be. This is not a Kamiya game. This is not Scalebound. This is not Bayonetta. This is
you're
not
so
Wonderful
right,
101.
and I hate you for
That's
being
what I was
so
going
right.
to say. Do we know if Platinum does the whole 2-team setup?
100%.
Well, they have to. They weren't doing Scalebound.
Yeah.
Well, that's my thing. Is I know that Platinum did the Korra game, which I think Dan reviewed it, and it is not good.
Yeah.
And
Transformers is better
Transformers
than Korra.
is good.
Yeah. Traditionally, though, their licensed stuff is not on the same level as their Beautiful Joe.
You're
Okami
suggesting an A team and a B team of sorts.
Maybe
yeah, but I didn't want to say A and B. But
well,
maybe Scalebound was to get used to modeling reptiles, and now they're going to do the Ninja Turtles.
Or maybe it's not.
Fantastic.
Or, maybe it's not A team, B team, but there's a core team, and then as they finish Scalebound, the bottom 70%
works on Ninja Turtles.
Moves to a different one. They're just constantly relocating people to where they need to be, type thing.
The fact of the matter is, I'd be willing to bet that these deals make them a lot more money than something like Bayonetta 2 did. Bayonetta 2 is. I'd be willing to bet that Korra made them more money than Bayonetta 2 did, despite the fact that Bayonetta 2 is 1,000 times better game.
Yeah. I would go you one further. I would be willing to bet that Korra made them more money than Bayonetta 2 and Vanquish combined.
Yeah,
because that's the other point I wanted to get to with this.
Really, Korra, not Ninja Turtles? You think Korra was the bigger moneymaker than sorry, not Ninja Turtles, Korra and Transformers?
100%.
Okay.
Yeah, it's so huge.
Yeah.
But that's the point I wanted to get at here, is that it's unfortunate. It's there's such a talented development team. They always have.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And they've consistently churned out great games. But their IPs, their original games, for whatever reason, seem to appeal to only the most hardcore of hardcore gamers. Mm-hmm. They have just not found anything, any bigger audience than that.
Yeah, and it's been the same since Clover. I mean, since stuff like Okami and Beautiful Joe, this has been critically acclaimed games that don't sell incredibly well.
And that's the thing. I suppose if you're the head of, I don't know if Mikami owns the studio or not. Sorry, thank you,
Yeah.
Kamiya. If he owns the studio or not, but you got to figure whoever is the signing the checks and is managing the money goes. God, our team just crushed it again, and no one bought it again.
Yeah.
What am I going to do? I don't want to have to lay people off, or worse, shut the studio down and lose.
Make Avatar 2.
Like, okay, we can. What can we apply our talents to? That. Oh, okay. Well, there's a Legend of Korra game, or a Transformers game, or Ninja Turtles. So it's this is one of those like sad. Sort of, I don't want to call it sad.
If it helps keep the lights on.
Yeah, it's a business
Okay.
reality, right?
I know you guys are managing expectations and like, just kind of being cautious about your optimism. What if they knock this out of the park and it is their A team and it's a great Ninja Turtles game and like
so
they
Scalebound's the B team?
No. Like,
Because-
they just have two great teams and
Okay,
they both
all right.
make great products. Like I'm trying
here's the
to
thing
I
is,
really
like-
like Ninja
all right.
Turtles and
Yeah,
I would love to see somebody do it right.
I don't think that there is
Yeah.
like an A team and a B team. Like Platinum's, I've been there. Like Platinum's a pretty, relative to other companies, a small developer. Like in
Yeah.
terms of how many people
Yeah.
it has. Like if you're there, there's a good chance you really, really deserve to be there and you're super talented. But at the same time, it's like as a creative person, I can totally understand putting more effort into something that I created myself with my own two hands. That's my own ideas, as opposed to something that was pre-established, which
Well, what about-
seems to be the case with their other licensed stuff.
For them, but like, what about like Rocksteady that made a fantastic Batman game? That was an original IP, but they got to
Oh, yeah,
work
but
on Batman.
Not a
like,
fair comparison. It's a
Ninja
totally
Turtles
different
is
developer.
huge to a lot of people.
No, but it's a totally different developer. And I was just saying, like, I can see how that might be the case. I'm not saying that that's what the case is.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
No, I totally hope you're right. I mean, it's because the what's good about if you're right is that not only do we get a great Ninja Turtles game out of it, but that can fund more more games like Scalebound and Vanquish
Yeah.
and Bayonetta, where then they can go, okay, well we knocked it out of the park. We made a ton of money off of the Turtles thing we did. So okay, we're gonna do another one of those, but then now we're also flush with cash. We're gonna do our next cool new original IP.
One for them,
idea.
one for yourself.
Exactly.
I would love
Thanks,
love
George
that
Clooney.
philosophy. So what would you want the game to be? I'd like them in Manhattan, jumping over rooftops, finding bad guys, jumping down.
Well, it is
using
definitely them in
Batman
Manhattan
mechanics.
because the game is called TMNT Mutants in Manhattan.
Yeah.
That's also where they live.
2D side-scrolling drop-in, drop-out co-op, a lot like the old Simpsons game. That's what I would say.
Pretty awesome.
So I've seen a
Eh?
bunch of images. Are there leaked
Or
images
X-Men.
for this yet, or is this just the ratings thing?
This is, as far as I know, just the ratings thing.
So I'm going to assume those are just images people Google searched and they're
It's
fan
an MMORPG.
An MMO would be weird.
A 4-player
Yeah.
MMO, not quite massively
Yeah.
multiplayer. Yeah, I mean, I imagine if you look at, I would love an open world thing. I would love a Rocksteady take on it, but I think if you look at Korra and Transformers, I think that's going to be the mold this game's going to take. I think it's going to be very sort of small, contained set pieces. It'll be
Like
solid
big
combat. I think it's not going to be gritty. I would be willing to bet the visuals are going to be very cartoony and cel shaded, like Korra and Transformers.
Yeah, that dev doesn't really do like dark and gritty.
Who did
unless you
Raiden?
count Devil May Cry,
Who did Metal
which
Gear
is still
Rising
pretty colorful.
Revengeance? Yeah,
Well-
that was pretty violent.
I know they're
Yeah.
violent, but I just don't think. I don't think they're going to do a hard R Turtles game because I think a lot of the Turtles audience is going to be kids.
So
Okay.
you're
Yeah.
right, but that being said, yeah, I would. The ideal scenario is the original gritty comic book
Yeah.
Turtles, circa
Yeah, now-
1980,
Right.
but was super violent. But it can it'd probably be best as a single player game, but you're fighting along, and you can play as any turtle, but the other three are with you as AI buddies the whole time in an open world scenario.
Or like you
Around
can call
the
in assists,
release-
like in Batman.
Around the
Yeah.
release of the Wolverine movie, Raven had been developing a really cool
good game.
Wolverine game,
Yeah.
and they released a pretty good game about Wolverine, and he gets messed up and he cuts people in half and everything.
Yeah.
Maybe this is one of those situations where
that's
it's
a very
not
good point.
necessarily,
Remember when Raven got
timid.
to make games?
I
Yeah.
do remember that. They were my favorite developer for many
Yeah.
years. Makers of Heretic, Hexen, what is, in my opinion, the second best
Wolfenstein?
Star Wars game ever,
yeah.
which is Jedi Knight 2.
Yeah.
I think the best Star Wars game ever is still KOTOR
When I, was
1.
in, when I was in high school, I thought maybe I'll work there someday.
Yeah.
And then
This was
stopped
awesome.
Oh, they
making
were
games.
nearby, yeah.
Yeah,
Madison,
I was-
Wisconsin.
they were 2 hours away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're still there.
Oh yeah, I know.
You can
but
still work
yeah.
there if you want to.
I'm good where
if
I'm
you
at.
want to make Call of Duty map packs for the rest of your
I'm
life.
happy where I am.
And also live in the Midwest.
Yeah.
Well, he's
I'd be
Madison's
near my
nice.
family, so yeah.
It's a college town. I've been there once. I went to Human Head.
Madison's
one time.
awesome.
I went to
Yeah.
Human Head Studios, which was formed by some ex-Raven people. I went there to see Dead Man's Hand. Anybody
boy.
remember that game?
No.
No, you don't.
Definitely not.
Dead Man's Hand.
Was that like
It
a
sounds
Stubbs,
familiar.
Was that Stubbs the Zombie DLC?
Yeah.
It was a pretty sure it was a first-person shooter with like an old west and then other weird
Y'all
monster
should write
themes.
a feature, each one of you, and maybe even you too, about the games that you saw and previewed that no one ever heard
I mean, we
about.
want to talk. Like multiple
Yeah.
people in
Like-
this office saw StarCraft Ghost.
Yeah.
Oh man.
What?
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
so cool. See, I would love to read about that as just like
Yeah.
a reader of IGN.
Yeah, like Goldfarb played it.
The
I
XCOM
played it.
game
Yeah.
that never came out, where it was like Mass Effect, where you
You
could slow
played
down
Ghost
time.
too?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Ghost
it was,
as
it was
well?
on the floor. It was in
Oh
their
my
booth at E3 in
God. Oh, man.
2004.
See, I was a senior in high school then. Wait, no, a junior in high school then. So I was not even doing this then. That's super cool. Are there any crazy games that like?
I mean,
you
I
saw that?
wrote a
don't think
cover
so.
story on the XCOM reboot that ended up canceled. But you know, not the
man.
one that the first person shooter that was like BioShock.
Right.
Like which
It looked great.
again, it was a vertical slice.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, it looked awesome,
good.
but
Yeah.
the fans went nuts. They're like, "This
Because
isn't XCOM.
It
this
needed
is
to not
terrible."
be called that. And then
I'm like, "This
ugh.
game looks good.
Anyway.
Like, give it a chance."
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
I would
imagine-
love to see. I'd love to hear like yours or like Dan's.
Or I imagine
or,
the story's a pair. Like
Yeah,
the guy
pair.
who's
want, like,
we
like
could-
20 of
yeah.
these.
You know what? Maybe
Star
or
Fox
this,
2.
This could also be like an entire Game Scoop
Scoop,
episode,
yeah.
maybe
Yeah.
with us. But anyway, that is neither here nor there for now.